So this opens up discussions into parts lists and bills of materials and the like. So let's do that. Let's do a new drawing. Do another new assembly drawing. This time it's going to be the parts list drawing. And there's a template to pull in a parts list. So similarly to all the others, we have different templates depending on how you want the parts list to be organised. So I'm going to choose this one here, which includes the part number. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to edit the parts list template. So to edit the parts list template, we simply edit the parts list template, and for a particular cell within the parts list where we want to pull in the part number, for example, we can format that cell, and from the data fields we can choose any data field that has come in via the PADS-CAD database. So here we're going to choose part number and click OK, and then re-execute the template. If we then wanted to store that back in the gallery as another parts list template item, we can simply just select it and choose Save to Library. So here's the parts list manager. If I look at the imported data, this is the information it's pulled in from the PADS-CAD database. So any attribution that you may have had on your components, like geometry.height, manufacturer, manufacturer's part number, your internal part number, and so on and so forth, would have been imported and collated into this table. So the other thing that BluePrint gives you the ability to do here is to add some user data as well. So user data typically will be items which wouldn't necessarily exist in the CAD database. So these will be parts like this LED holder, for example. So I can add an LED holder. So let's add an LED holder part, and we'll give it a reference designator prefix of LD for LED holder, or LH, LED holder. Description, right angle, LED holder, for example. And I'm going to leave the quantities as auto, because what we can also do is we can set up what's called electrical mechanical associations. So on a particular component, so I'm going to choose these LEDs, okay, and for these LEDs I'm going to associate the LED holder with the LEDs, okay, so all of them, yeah, next, and finish. So what it will do is, if I look at the master data, which is a collaboration of the imported and user data, you can see it's added item number 2 is the LED holder, and it's automatically calculated that I need 2 of them because it's 1 per LED. Okay. Now it turns out that these LEDs are actually different. One is a blue LED and one is an orange LED, and that's controlled as part of the part number. So because they have different part numbers, I want them to appear as separate lines in the parts list. So you can see what it's done now is it's pulled these out into separate LEDs. Okay, one's a blue and one's an orange with a different part number, and that's what's caused that. So the other thing to say about the parts list is the way it works within a BluePrint document. As you can see, it automatically adds hyperlinks to the reference designators. So what that allows us to do is to select either a range of reference designators or an individual reference designator, and open up a view of the PCB on which it will identify where they are on the board, which is incredibly handy for the shop floor. So coming back onto our little bit of detail that we pulled in for the LED and the LED holder, what we can now choose to do is to edit that bit of detail. There we go. So edit detail, and then for the LED holder itself we can create a link within the callout to a parts list item. So we can select the LED holder as the parts list item. For the LED itself we can also link it to the parts list item, but this time what I would probably choose to do is to link it on the part name, so that we just get LED on there. Okay, so let's take a look and see how this document is going to behave within the free BluePrint viewer. So this bit of detail here, if I click on the item number 2 for the LED holder, it will bring that parts list item to me in the link window, rather than me going to have to look it up on the parts list page. Similarly for the LED, of course. So let's take a look at the other call out that we created earlier, which is this one, which was to the fabrication note. So what this is going to do is it's going to bring the fabrication note to me rather than me going to search out the corresponding fabrication note.